Welcome to Make Adventure Happen podcast. In this podcast, in every episode, we talk about one country. We answer some of the most popular questions about this country and we share our own experience in this country. We, that's me, Kaspars, and Una. And today we will be talking about South Korea. South Korea, it's a very modern country in East Asia. We went to South Korea this year in May, June 2023. We spent 6 weeks in the country. South Korea is a country not far away from China, east of Russia, Japan, and it's bordering North Korea. There are some 50 million people living in South Korea, and most of them are living in or near the capital city of Seoul. And now let's go to Google. Let's look at the most popular questions about South Korea and let's answer them. And we'll start with the first question that's important for tourists. Is South Korea friendly to tourists?
Definitely. I think South Korea is one of the, in fact, I think in South Korea is one of the friendliest countries for tourism. Yeah, there might be a language barrier because not everyone speaks English in South Korea, but people are very friendly and they are always willing to help. Always willing to point I don't know, where do you need to go and lead you somewhere, where are you looking, like, you got the idea.
Yeah.
Well, and it's also very, very safe.
I think that's a very important thing. Yeah.
I think crime rate is very low in South Korea.
There are
It's super safe and the people are friendly and people are curious about you as a tourist, and the infrastructure is good, and transportation is good, and hotels are available, and there are plenty of hotels. I think it's very tourism friendly country.
Safe, good people, good tourism infrastructure, hotels, transportation. No scams, I would say.
Yeah, no scams.
Like things
no scams like in India or even Thailand even.
Scams are, I would say, like almost everywhere. Like from America to Europe to Asia. But in South Korea, you feel like you are being led just to be. You always pay fair price.
You're always treated right.
Yeah. So yeah, in short, yes, South Korea, in our opinion, is a very tourist-friendly country. Let's go to the next question. Okay, I think it's also a thing that's important for tourists. Is South Korea expensive?
I don't think so. Well, some things are expensive, like trains, like these bullet trains are expensive, but
and fruits.
And fruits, yes. But the rest, not really. Hotels are not expensive, meals are not expensive, transportation within the city is not expensive, taxis, they are quite expensive.
Somewhat expensive.
Some things are expensive, but some things are not expensive. So it's like, I would say, still reasonably priced.
I would say it's very good value for money. Similar like in Thailand, you are getting lots of stuff for your money. For example, hotels, like Una said, they are not expensive, and actually if you are looking at the quality of the room and what you are getting, the amenities, they are even like you get more for your money than in much cheaper countries like Bangladesh or India. You can get a room for also 20 or 30 euro, and sometimes you pay the same money also in Bangladesh. Like I paid in Dhaka, but in South Korea the room will definitely be better. It's not cheap, yeah, but it's good. Nah, it's not super cheap, but it's very affordable.
Yeah, and regarding the bullet trains, I would say if you wanna spend less money, if you wanna save on transportation, it's better to fly between the cities instead of using the expensive trains, because flying is actually cheaper, or
Yeah.
use the cheaper trains. But I think flying is the best. Like planes are the best transportation within the country.
Yes, there are cheap flights. And do you remember the airline name? I think it was Jeju Air or something.
I'm not sure. There are several.
Yeah.
Just use Skyscanner and you will see all the options.
And I would recommend do your own also research. I'm not sure if all the airlines were on
Of
Skyscanner
course,
actually.
yes.
I think there were some low-cost airlines like Jeju Air or
Yeah.
something, and they had super cheap flights.
You know what? Just Google Korea budget airlines in Korea
Yeah.
and check the prices of each airline. And compare the prices and book, like using the websites of the airlines.
Hmm. Yeah, you may try Skyscanner, but if you don't find good prices, try just googling, because
Yeah,
I think
you're
there
right.
I think there were some airlines that were not on these websites.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Completely right.
Yeah. And speaking of trains, there are also cheaper trains. I was using, when you left, I was using a train, not fast train, the normal train, still a very good train, for cheaper. Is it okay to wear shorts in Korea?
Yeah, everyone wears shorts.
Yeah, I think it's
Well,
perfectly
when
fine.
it's cold, no one wears shorts. But when it's warm, actually, people wear shorts in Korea. Because South Korea is a democratic, I think. Well, it's a modern country. It's not like North Korea, where only one like outfit is approved. In South Korea, you can wear anything you like.
It's a very modern country. Very. There are some ways that this country is also, I don't know, old thinking, but in many ways it's very forward thinking and very modern. And some even say that it's like 20 years in the future from Western countries.
Yeah, and when it comes to stylish outfits, Koreans are, I think, number one in our world, in the world, because Koreans are actually very stylish.
Yeah,
if you are watching K dramas or if you are watching K-pop videos, Kaspers does, and of course I see time after time as well what he is watching, and you see that people are dressed very stylishly. They wear stylish clothes in those videos, and I think Korea is like, when it comes to style and clothes, they're like number one probably, or top five.
Yeah, they look very.
Yeah, and
good.
they also wear shorts. Yeah, so this is the answer to your question.
Not only young people, also older people are very well dressed.
Yeah.
Money question again. Lots of people are asking, is $100 a lot in Korea?
Not really.
Yes and no. Not for a month or not for a week, but if you are, I don't know, a tourist, and if you're asking if it's okay for a day, then yeah, definitely you can get a room even in Seoul, the capital, for 30, 40 euros, 50. If you look for cheaper places, you will find also something for 20, more far away from the city. Food is maybe, I don't know, starting from $5, $6, $7 to 10 euro. Yeah, so food, accommodation, transportation is cheap and super good in Seoul, the capital, and also in other bigger places, at least in bigger places.
But
What
between
else?
the cities, it's not that cheap.
Yeah.
I think $100 is enough for a day if you are like in a tourist mode.
Yeah,
more or less.
yeah.
Some days it will be less, some days it will be more. It depends on what kind of day you have planned. If you are traveling between the cities, or if you are staying within one city and exploring just, the free free stuff and eating in local places. So I think sometimes in some days it will be less than 100, and some days it will be more. But I think like on average 100 is okay.
100 is, I would say, very good.
Yeah.
I see the same answer also here on Google, that 100 is quite a lot actually.
Yeah.
If you are spending 100 a day, you can also go to these stylish places, eat 15 euro cakes and $20 coffees.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, there are
But
money
of course you can
questions.
travel unless we did that.
Yeah. If you're spending longer time, you won't be spending
That much.
100 a day. Okay, there are many money questions. What month is the cheapest flight to Korea? I think there is no such a month and it's the cheapest, but I have been looking at flights and mostly I have been seeing cheaper prices in spring and winter. It's also when the weather is colder. If you are not like us and you are not afraid of cold weather, then you can also go in spring and also
Enjoy the spring of South Korea.
Yeah. Okay. Many more questions about money. Is South Korea good country to live?
I think so.
I think so, yeah.
If you know the language, then definitely.
Yeah, it's safe, it's modern, it's not cheap, but it's good for the money.
Yeah, value for money.
Okay. Another question that I think is interesting for tourists and also for people who want to learn more about the country. Do they speak English in South Korea?
No, not really. But it's okay. People are friendly and they will help you a lot when you travel. Well, with the I don't know, pointing and gestures and stuff, but yeah, they don't really speak. Some do, but mostly don't.
And I think I agree with you that they don't really speak too good English, but I think it may also be related to them being pretty shy, and maybe they speak, but they don't want to. I don't know. They maybe are thinking that their English is not good and they don't speak. That's why.
That well, yeah. Actually, we met some that. Like, we ask if you speak English and they're like, no, not really. But then afterwards they start speaking quite good English. So maybe they're just shy. Or they think that they can't really speak because they are not used to it. And when they start trying, then they maybe realize that they can. I don't know, but some of them are shy probably. And that's the thing. But many people don't speak at all. At
least that's the feeling that you get.
I'm not sure if it's taught in school, English. Never asked.
I think it's being taught, and I think that younger people might be speaking.
Yeah, maybe
but
now.
The general feeling is that they don't, and you see many signs like menu in a restaurant maybe only in Korean. So that's why a really cool thing if you are traveling to South Korea is using Google Translate, and we are using the Google Translate app camera mode. You can press on the camera button in Google Translate, point at the text that you want to read, and you will be able to read it like directly in any language
in real
Korean.
time. So you point the camera at the text and you see the translation right away, real time. And also I think you can upload images and the images are translated like if there's a text in the image. And I think it works without internet connection, but you need to download the offline vocabulary, I think.
Yeah, you can download the language on Google Translate app and then use...
I think it will work offline.
Okay, yeah. It's doable. You can go with knowing only English and still
Yeah.
get by, but you may want to use app like you said, like Google Translate. We were using Google Translate every day. I'm not sure how I would feel if I didn't have Google Translate with this option to just point at the text, because Korean language it's
not Latin. It's not Latin alphabet. It's like they have their own letters. So I don't know how to type you need another like keyboard on your phone because it's not Latin.
Yeah, it looks similar to
and typing
Japan.
might be a pain in the butt, because you have to first you have to locate the little signs, the letters on the keyboard, and then you have to type. So this camera mode really helps.
Yeah, let's go further. Let's go to the next question. A nice question. What is Korean favorite food? I think there is only one answer.
Yeah.
I think it's kimchi.
Kimchi.
They eat kimchi
all the time, and I do
with everything.
It's one of my favorite foods ever, kimchi.
But
there are also other meals, dishes. But unfortunately, I don't remember the names of these dishes. I just know how they look. But no names. I know that there's a sushi type thing, a long something with
bibimbap.
Yes.
No,
let me check. This is another favorite thing Koreans eat a lot. It's like a fast food, but a healthy type of fast food.
You can check it out. And speaking of kimchi, these are fermented vegetables. There is cabbage and it's spicy, and you get it everywhere for free. Kimbap.
That's kimbap.
Kimbap is also a very popular thing, and kimbap is one of the cheapest foods that you can eat in South Korea. You can get this one long
It's like a sushi roll. No, not sausage, like a roll, a uncut sushi. Sushi is like a cut thing. Yeah, well, you know how to make sushi probably. They roll it and they cut it. And this, I forgot the name. Kimbap is the sushi before you cut it.
Yeah.
But it contains some other, it's slightly different than sushi. Sushi, I think, it's almost always is with fish. But kimbap is with veggies, with spam, with other types of meats. I'm not sure, pork.
That's the thing.
That's different, and seaweed, I think, as well.
That's a very interesting thing about Korean food. Something that I wasn't even thinking of, and I wasn't aware of that they eat these
spam.
rice dishes with this spam, with this sausage, and I was like, what? Or go and buy this triangle, what they call these things? These things that are popular.
Triangle sushi.
Triangle sushi thing that you can buy in Japanese places.
Onigiri.
Onigiri also they eat with different kinds of meats, and I was used to these things with the seafood, with the tuna, with the salmon.
And another famous dish in South Korea is bibimbap. It's kind of... do you know what a poke bowl is? Like a bowl with rice. So this is somewhat similar. A bowl of rice with toppings, and sometimes it's an egg on top, or always.
We can try and show you if the camera will catch it.
Yeah. So this is bibimbap.
Bibimbap, this bowl, it's a very popular thing.
And it's tasty. It's pretty good because it contains it's like rice with vegetables, some meat, mushrooms. So all the nicest things you can have, and it's all in your meal. It's all in one meal, and it's really filling, because it's a big bowl. I would say it's a rather large dish.
Yeah, and I forgot what I wanted to say about food. Ah, yeah, the last thing that I want to add about food is that Korean barbecue is also
yeah.
a super big thing in South
it's
Korea.
super popular.
It's and the way it works is also very interesting. At first we didn't know how it works and we thought like, oh wow, it looks so expensive, like 100 grams cost 5, 10, 15 euros. We thought, okay, we will spend 50 or 100 euros on a meal, but no, because you see, you pay only for meat mostly. You pay, let's say, for 200 grams of meat or 300 grams of meat, these maybe 10-15 euros, but then you're getting lots of different
condiments, and veggies for free.
Kimchi.
So, yeah. So basically, you buy like. Usually we buy like one serving of meat each, plus one more to share, and there's like a lot of different condiments and veggies, like complimentary. So you basically have a lot of food, and I think you can ask to top it up if something's like not enough. I'm not sure. Maybe they charge you some little, like a little, or sometimes it's free. I'm not sure, but you end up with a lot of food.
What is the capital of South Korea?
Seoul.
Seoul. And Seoul is a super crazy, mega big metropolitan
it's
area.
Huge.
In South Korea there are some 50 million people and half of them are living in or near the capital city. It's very
crazy, no?
Very, very big city, and we spent 4 weeks in this city and really enjoyed it.
Yep.
Safe, convenient,
Lots of things to do.
Lots of foods to eat.
Yeah, lots of what was the alcohol name?
Soju?
Lots of soju to drink. Well, we are not really big soju drinkers, but I know that a lot of people, a lot of tourists enjoy it, and it's cheap.
Yeah,
That is cheap.
that is cheap. Yeah.
And
super cheap.
beer is also cheap. So if you like alcohol, then you will be very happy to visit South Korea. But we don't, as always, we do not encourage drinking.
We do not encourage it. So the next question, it's also somewhat related to that what you said. What do South Koreans do for fun? And there are two things. One is soju and nightlife and that stuff that comes to my mind. But the second thing that I think is really, really strong and I was surprised about that is outdoors, hiking. They are crazy about hiking. I have never seen that many elderly people on steep and also sometimes dangerous hiking trails. They love that.
Yeah, they are crazy in a good way, of course.
Yeah, and
I love them. They're completely like my role models.
And also there are lots of outdoor kind of gym places where everyone can go, and these places often are full. There are people working out, doing sports, and remember that Saturday when we went out, we were living in Bucheon. It's a city next to Seoul, like it's in this Seoul metropolitan area. We went out on a Saturday and we were thinking like, oh, where are the people? Like, why don't we see?
It's so empty on the streets. But then we went hiking. When we went
inside the park.
Inside the park, where there are hiking trails and this workout outdoor equipment for outdoor workouts, we saw that there are people and a lot of them. So this is where all the people went. They didn't go to, I don't know, like
malls.
On a mall, in a mall or something else. They probably they did, but in our area, those people went hiking.
Yeah. About other things about popular in Korea. What is the most popular thing in South Korea? I think there are many.
There's some more things they really like to do in Korea. I think it's this singing thing,
Karaoke?
karaoke, and then they like to. Well, the younger crowd like to go to these like self-portrait photo booths,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
they
yeah,
take
yeah.
photos there. Like there's like plenty of like I'm not sure like some. Stuff you can put on your head, like hats and glasses and even makeup, I think, and some I don't know, like some fun things to like fun hair ties and stuff like that, and then you can take fun photos. Yeah, this is also what people like to do.
Maybe I can find one photo
Yeah,
quickly,
yeah.
and it. Here is a photo of us
Yeah, wearing silly hats.
after taking photos in one of those places.
Large glasses as well, and like unicorn horns and stuff, and antlers and whatnot.
Yeah, people like to do that. And,
Pikachu hats, masks even probably. I'm not sure. Probably that too.
I actually don't know. I can't really remember seeing these kind of places in any other countries, but in Seoul, in South Korea, there are I don't know, at least a few tens. I wouldn't be surprised if hundreds of these places all over the city, all around the city.
Everywhere, they're like on every corner, everywhere, like literally everywhere.
Yeah, you take this stuff, you make photos, you can pay some money and print these photos out. Cool.
Yeah, and I think it's quite cheap. Maybe like $5 per 2 sets of photos. Like they're like sheets of photos. Like they're like sheets, and there are several little pictures in it, and then mostly you get 2 sets of these sheets.
Okay, now let's go to other popular things that people do and what Korea is famous for. And the question is, what is the most popular thing in South Korea? I think the one thing is that's famous in Korea and outside of Korea, it's K-pop, the Korean pop music. You hear K-pop everywhere in South Korea. I love K-pop, and so I really enjoyed being in South Korea because you walk on the street and you know almost every song. K-dramas, that's what the country is famous for outside of Korea and also in Korea. What else? Most popular things in Korea. I think also food is...
Cosmetics.
Yeah, cosmetic. Food is becoming more popular, and you see Korean food also outside of Korea. Cosmetics, definitely people like to do these cosmetic surgeries to look
cosmetic
prettier.
surgeries, and also like cosmetics, makeup, toiletries, that kind of stuff.
Actually, there's a question why...
Sheet masks.
Yeah, there's a question. Why is plastic surgery so common in Korea? I'm not sure if we are the best people to answer this question, but of course we can share our own views.
It's just
not real experience. Yeah, I think it's because it seems like people in Korea like to look beautiful, and they are really, I would say, obsessed with that in a way. Like if you don't think about it more deeper, it may seem like a good thing because you see beautiful people around you, beautifully dressed, everyone's dressed nicely and neat, and no one is, I don't know, smelling on the transport, but at the same time...
A common problem in Latvia.
Yeah, like at the same time, like when something becomes an obsession, it's not so good anymore, and it seems like they are obsessed with that beauty and they want to be beautiful and look young even when they are 75. They want to look like 25 and Yep. Okay. Let's go to the next. What is the... cheapest thing to buy in Korea.
I would
You would say soju,
yeah, or beer.
but we see
It's actually it's true. It's true. Socks.
socks.
And Korea is. I didn't know that it's like so sock oriented. Everywhere you go, you see socks, and these are good quality socks, and they are always colorful, and they're really good quality. And I have bought like several pairs of socks, and I really love them. And yeah, they're cheap. Like usually around $1 per pair or even less, and it's not like they're like low quality like in many places, you know, the cheapest thing usually is low quality, but here it's completely different. And I really love Korean socks, and I would love to go to Korea again just to buy tons of socks. And so what are the other things on the list?
That are cheap.
Yeah,
What is cheap?
socks, yes, I said soju.
Okay, cosmetics. They say cosmetics.
Yeah, you can find cheap cosmetics, but it's not that cheap. Or at least I didn't find soju. Yeah, they say soju.
Soju is a world's most popular alcoholic beverage.
One thing on the list is Korean snacks. Yeah, actually that is quite true. T-shirts, not sure.
Not sure.
Probably.
Shoes.
Shoes.
know-
Might be, yeah.
I think shoes, yeah, I may agree, even though we didn't really look at shoes, but yeah, you saw like lots of places selling cheap clothing and cheap footwear, and I'm not sure if it's good quality, but they were selling these things. And if you compare to almost any or even any country where we have been to, I mean, we have been to some 50, in Korea they have this stuff of better quality. It looks good. I'm not sure if it is good, but it looks good, and it's, yeah, it can be cheap.
You know what I remember from our time in South Korea? I found some sports outlets, sports shoes, sports footwear outlet, and there were like sales ales, like and certain types, certain footwear, certain shoes were actually really cheap, like Converse shoes maybe $20, Vans shoes also 20, but not every shoe, every type of shoe, just some particular models. They were discounted. That's also actually good, and that's also true that might be true that shoes are inexpensive in South Korea, because there probably are even more outlets that sell like discounted like models, like older models, and yeah.
And I think it's in a big way because of people who love to look good, people who love to look stylish, people who love to have I don't know, these brand shoes, lots of sales and outlets and stuff like that of like good quality stuff, and also lots of fake shoes.
You know what surprised me? That, for instance, in Bucheon there's like a lot of thrift shops, like second-hand shops, where you can buy footwear and clothing very cheaply. I think there were like $3 shoes and like good brands, Adidas and Fila, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Nike, Converse, all that mainstream stuff, and and sweaters, jackets, jeans, whatever.
And actually this pricing and cheap and expensive things is that I want to talk a little bit more about it, because when we were going to South Korea, to Seoul, we were thinking that it is gonna be a very expensive place. Turned out that it's way cheaper. We were really surprised that you can also buy these cheap things, like cheap footwear, cheap clothing, that there are these thrift shops that I don't know, meals in restaurants are much cheaper than we were thinking that they will be. Coffee is cheap.
Yeah,
Coffee
coffee is everywhere.
super popular, extremely popular.
This is one more thing that it is very cheap in Korea. Like Americanos, iced Americanos, that's very cheap. Like a big cup of iced Americano might be $1 or something.
And it's crazy big. You can buy, speaking of coffee, you can buy also 3-liter bags of Americano from the shop.
That's so funny.
Coffee is super crazy popular. I thought that Vietnam is extremely obsessed with coffee, but Korea, I think, takes it to the next level.
Yeah. Let's talk about quite the opposite thing. What is the most expensive thing in Korea? For us, it was oatmeal. Like we like to eat oatmeal for our breakfast. Oatmeal and we put dried fruits inside, like
or fresh.
And all of that was expensive. Oatmeal was expensive, dried fruits were expensive, and like fresh fruits were expensive too. Well, of course it's not the most expensive thing, but still, like for I don't know, for an everyday life, it was expensive.
I can give you example by prices. Like in Latvia, we can buy 1 kilo of oatmeal, and that will be enough for us maybe for a week. So 1 kilo, like 1 week of oatmeal, we can buy for maybe €2, 15. It will be 1 week, €2.
Yeah, in Lidl, yeah.
In Korea, the same amount of oatmeal would cost us around €20, so not 2, but 20.
That expensive, okay?
Yeah, because it was €5 for 250 grams or something like that. So, so in Latvia, €2. I guess in Germany maybe even cheaper, or in UK, but €2 here and 20 there. And speaking of fresh fruits, they can be super expensive. But here's one tip how to buy cheap fresh fruits. Go to these markets and go in the evenings, because remember, in the evenings they were discounting,
reducing the prices.
Sometimes like 3 and 4 times.
Yeah.
If in the morning, if in the morning strawberries, a small package of strawberries was maybe 5, 7, 10 euro, then in the evening it was maybe 2 or 3.
But it's not like these markets are not everywhere, and not every day these items get discounted, but still.
Okay, let's go to the next question finally. Do you tip in South Korea?
No, I guess not. I don't remember actually. No, we didn't. And no one asked us.
You remember? And I think it's also partly because in many restaurants you order your food from a machine.
Yeah,
you don't meet a person. You go inside the restaurant, go to machine, make your order, pay at the machine, and then
you need often you need to pick up it yourself.
Yeah, and also need to bring your bowl or plate back to somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah, this is how they keep the place is also very nice and clean and organized, because then there can be one person in the restaurant making the food, and
the rest of it is done by the customers.
Yeah.
Larger places, of course, they have waiters and some other personnel, but smaller places they're not usually there's not that much stuff, that many people working.
Yeah, and for these machines to order the food, you may need to use your phone to translate what you are ordering, because not always they have photos, but often they have. Here's a funny question, and it reminds me of our very first night in South Korea. We arrived at night, and does Korean taxi take cash?
No.
We were trying to pay in cash, and the driver was like, "What is this? What is that stuff that you are giving to me?
I think he
Don't you have a card?
I think he didn't have change.
I don't know. But he looked like really surprised that we are giving him cash.
Yeah.
We withdraw some at the airport and.
Yeah, and he took cards. I think he preferred cards.
Yeah. Okay. What a strange question. Are taxis free in Korea? Of
Can
course.
you eat in a taxi in Korea?
Taxis are not free, and can you eat in a taxi? I don't
Taxis
know.
are not free. They never and nowhere are.
Can you eat in taxi? I would
No.
recommend against it.
I never eat in a taxi. I think that's not polite.
There are many things that are not polite actually in South Korea. I remember first day we are on the metro and we realized that we, two of us, are the only people speaking.
Yeah, we weren't like
We were like-
very loud. We're just talking in a normal voice, and then after like 5 minutes we realized, okay, or 3 minutes we realized like, okay, maybe we should stop talking.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually also on the train, when you go between cities, there is even an announcement saying, please be polite and thoughtful of other people, and if you need to talk on the phone, please leave
Whisper.
the car. No, leave the car.
Ah, okay, leave
Yeah.
the train and
Yeah.
go outside to talk. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Because in many places, like, I know people start talking on the phone and they're like, hey, I'm on my way, what's for dinner? You know, I bought new socks. Wow, my cat. Wow, okay, fine, but you know what? My cat has diarrhea. I was sleeping badly this night and that kind of stuff. And you sit, and if you have forgotten your, like, I don't know, earbuds or I don't know, like the headphones, you hear all this shit and then you think, oh no, dear.
I think the last or one of the last questions. How do tourists get around South Korea?
Metro.
Public transportation.
South Korea. Public transportation, flights.
Yeah. And public transportation, I would say trains. There are slow trains, fast trains, and like Una said, there are flights. Check out the cheap flights, budget airlines.
There might be buses, but I don't really like. I haven't heard that like people whom I know who has traveled in South Korea. I don't think they took buses, so I think it's not very popular mode of transportation.
But possible.
But possible.
I have read that it's possible, but I also
So
don't know.
trains and flights. That's the main two things.
And ferries, by the way.
Yeah, ferries. Yeah.
It's not a thing that comes to your mind maybe, but there are quite a few islands in South Korea.
Not only Jeju Island.
Yeah, Jeju is the most popular island. It's a big island, and to Jeju, it's the best idea is to fly. But there are also some smaller islands near Seoul, and there you can go by ferry. I went there. Una flew home, and I was a little bit longer in South Korea. And I took a ferry, cheap ferry. The thing that confused me was that to buy a ferry ticket, I needed a passport. Yeah, I think I needed a passport, and ID wasn't enough.
Yep.
Train. One thing about trains, I have never bought a train ticket online because, as I realized, to buy a train ticket online, you have to, I don't know, it's complicated. So I just went to the train station. And on that, I think we can finish this video. To sum it up, I think South Korea is an amazing country, super safe, and
Would recommend.
yeah, go to South Korea.
Go to South Korea.
Until next time.
Yes, bye.
See you. Bye.
Bye.